Now, all great things start at the beginning, and so the best place to start is even before the beginning, before Menachem and Rymanow was born. So the father of Menachem and Rymanow, whose name was Rabbi Yosef, he managed the local inn for the local poets, the Duke. And this Duke, for some reason, he needed a lot of money. He said, I'm in very, very serious trouble. I need to make everything liquid as soon as possible. I'll sell you everything for a really, really good price. I just need the money, and then I'll buy it back from you, and you'll make a lot of money on this. So Rav Yosef was not a very wealthy man at all. He barely got by, but this was a big opportunity, so he wasn't sure what to do. He hurried home. His wife, she took, for example, pearls of the headpiece of a wedding and sold them. Took whatever gold and silver they could find, sold it, and they went and they borrowed money from all the people that they knew, because of Rav Yosef was a very special man and people trusted him. They gave him the money as well. And on the way to the mansion to the poets, those getting the deal of a lifetime, he had loud wailing coming from a house. So he was curious. He went to check what was happening, and he saw that there was a body lying on the floor, and there was a woman and 7 children who were crying. They were weeping. The woman said that several hours earlier, her husband had just suddenly died, completely unexpected. And both she and her children were now without any means of support. And it's very terrible, because she said that her husband owed lots and lots of money, and the creditors are going to come and take everything they had, the few possessions that she had left. And she said, I've got nothing to do but to drown myself and my children in the lake. So Rav Yosef was very moved about what was going on, and he took all the money that he intended to use to buy all these possessions from the pirates, and he gave it to her, and he quickly left. So when Mendel tells the story, he says that my father's act of compassion created a great furor in heaven. That not only couldn't he buy the possessions of the pirates, and not only did he dispose of everything of value that he had, and that's what he was giving up, but now he basically owed people a lot of money in order to give to the tzedakah. And when the Satan and Shemayim heard this, he said, not so fast. Yeah, he did a lot of a great act of tzedakah, but before he's rewarded, he has to be tested. The Sultan said, I'm going to go and test him. Eliyahu said, no. You're going to just set an impossible test. I'm going to go and test him. So the Bezin Shamal agreed to this. Rav Yosef saw that there was no purpose in continuing to go to the Duke, because what's he going to do? And he didn't really know what he's going to tell his wife, to say, look, we've sold everything, I've gone into debt, and I gave the money to some lady, who needed my help. He wasn't sure what to do, so he went to the nearest village and he sat in a shul, sat in a base medrash. And he said, look, if someone sees a stranger here and invites me for a meal, as in himself, then good. But he wasn't going to ask anybody for anything. After a while, an old man came to him when he was sitting in the shul. He said, Menachem. He asked him, what are you doing here? He also told everything that happened. This man said, look, Hashem gave me a lot of wealth. This man said to him, I've got a lot of money, but I don't have a lot of mitzvahs, so I'm not a very good man. You really need the money, so I'll tell you what. Sell me the reward for the mitzvah, and I'll give you enough money to pay off all the debts and everything, and you'll still have enough to live for yourself. He also said, no, Hashem gave me the opportunity to do this mitzvah. I'm not going to sell it for any amount of money. So the old man said, okay, fair enough. Sell me half the reward, and I'll still pay you well. Rav Yosef said, nope, that's not going to happen. The man kept bargaining. Rav Yosef wouldn't hear any of it. He just said, no, I'm keeping it. Then the elderly man said, I'm Eliyahu Hanavi, and I was sent to test you. You not only did the mitzvah of tzedakah with Mesiras Nefesh, but you withstood the test of selling the reward and for the mitzvah. And therefore, he said to him, you can choose from 3 things. Either you'll have a long life, or you'll become very wealthy, or you and your wife will have a son who will have a very holy neshama. Rav Yosef said, look, we don't have any children. What good is it to have a long life or wealthy? We'll be wealthy if I don't have a child. And he said, you'll be blessed as a son, and will illuminate the world with his Torah and Yer Shamayim. But you must accept 3 things. You'll remain poor, he said. You'll die before the child is born. When the child is 2 years old, your wife will likewise pass away. So Rav Yosef said, look, it involves my wife, and I can't make any decisions on her. So I have to ask her. And she said, what good are life and wealth without a child? And she agreed to the terms. And Menachem Mendel said, my mother died when I was 2, and I was raised by kind people in the community. Because my birth occurred after my father's death, he said, they called me Menachem, because I like to be Menachem Avel somebody, in the hopes that I would be consoled. And we can see the humble beginnings of a tzaddik like this. It's no wonder that his parents not only were Moser Nefesh to do such a mitzvah, but literally gave up their life in order so that this child could be born to light up the world.